All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
I made love to an alien near Roswell last night. We strolled along together in the pale moonlight. I had a funny feeling that something wasn't right. I made love to an alien last night. When she gripped my hand, I was feeling mighty fine, but her fingers with mine would not intertwine. When I bent down and gazed into her eyes, they were big as donuts and blacker than the sky. She said, I'm feeling lonely. I said, Lord, so am I. We'll stroll along together, but we won't question why. That ground beneath your feet, dear, is flashing red and white and sprouting little mushrooms left and right. Then she threw me down and put me on my back.
Welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. This is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the all-new X Zone Broadcast Network and the Talkstar Radio Network. Toll-free worldwide, 1-800-610-7035. That's 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com. And our websites, www.xzoneradiotv.com and www.xzonetv.com. Once again, X Zone Nation, if you can dig into your pocket to help out the people in Haiti, they can use any help that you can afford to spare in these very trying times. We're pointing everyone to the Red Cross, the Canadian Red Cross at www.redcross.ca. That's for our Canadian listeners. And for our U.S. good friends, www.redcross.org. That's www.redcross.org. My guest this hour is a gentleman who needs very little introduction to anyone who has ever heard of those famous three little alphabets, UFO. My guest this hour is Jim Hickman. He is a ufologist, researcher, author, speaker, and all-around good guy. His website is www.hickmanreport.com. And joining me now is Jim Hickman. And Jim, how are you doing, old friend?
Rob, I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for that introduction.
Well, you know what? Yeah, well, you and I go back years. Let's see. We go back about, actually, 17, 18 years. And,
yeah, I've known you almost as long as I've known my wife.
I'm not going to touch that one, Jim, but thanks for trying to hook me on that one, yeah. Over the years, Jim, have you seen a progression in the different types of UFOs that people have been reporting? Like, I remember the first type that I became aware of were the cigar-shaped or cylindrical type UFOs.
Oh, there's so many types, and they've been reported to so many places by so many people. You know, I'm a researcher for MUFON, Mutual UFO Network.
Yeah.
And been with them for years and years and years. And, UFOs have changed. I've studied this in my book, 5,000 Years of UFOs. And, they started out as saucers originally back in cave drawings, back in pre-recorded history. The date's not really known. They start out to drawing pictures of what they saw in the sky. People pointing at these saucer-shaped objects, and that's just the beginning. They had disc-shaped objects back 10,000 BC in Nepal, and example that's the Lalodolf plate. It's a 12,000-year-old stone dish
wow.
found in Nepal. and it has a disc-shaped UFO engraved on it, and a figure that represents, to some people, as a modern gray alien. And this is from 10,000 BC. And the first actual recorded sighting goes back to the Pharaoh Thutmose III in Egypt in 1,500 BC. He saw silent circles of fire and flying discs in the sky. And he thought it was so important that he had this recorded in stone in his in the pyramids. Actually had some poor stonemason had to go up there and carve this sighting report in stone in 1500 BC in Egypt.
All right, Jim, please stand by. You and I have to take our commercial break. Jim Hickman's our very special guest, and Jim is going to be a regular here on the X Zone. We're so happy to have Jim back. His website, X Zone Nation, www.hickmanreport.com, HICKMAN report.com. We'll be back on the other side of this 2-minute commercial break as we continue from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network and Talkstar Radio Network.
She said, I'm feeling lonely. I said, Lord, so am I. We'll stroll along together, but we won't question why. That ground beneath your feet, dear, is flashing red and white.
Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifeology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Out in the field, farmers grew bread and called for the meat. They took for the shed, and dark came to fall.
Jim Hickman is my special guest of this final hour of this week's show, www.hickmanreport.com. That's www.hickmanreport.com. Jim, we're talking about the history behind ufology this hour here on the X Zone and the Hickman Report. Prior to going to the commercial break, you were telling us about how inside of a pyramid there are even hieroglyphics, I guess we can call them, of UFOs.
Yes, exactly. It goes back before recorded history. People have seen things in the sky that they can't explain. I'm sure you know the astronomer Morris Jessup. He has a quote out saying, "Flying saucers are not new. For thousands of years, men have seen these mysterious objects in the sky." And what we need to know, and this quote comes from Dr. Ed Mitchell, who I had breakfast with in Roswell back just a couple of years ago. He told me that we all know UFOs are real. All we need to ask is, where are they coming from? And that's really what this is all about. There is something out there. People are seeing it every day, and the whole idea of this is we're trying to figure out what it is and where it's coming from. And people that just starting out with UFOs think that it all started in Roswell in 1947, and anything but. You can look back in the Bible, back to 593 BC. Ezekiel's wheel. He saw a wheel in the sky.
Yes.
I've sat and read that passage in the Bible, and it just exactly describes a modern-day sighting report of a UFO. This man describes the colors of the lights he sees, what the alien beings, the exact description of these folks. And he was even taken aboard this craft and was abducted. And this is in the Bible. And that's a pretty authoritative document, you know.
It sure is, Jim. And even when you look at Moses receiving the Ten Commandments on top of Mount Sinai, there's another example where it could easily have been a UFO or a craft from another planet or other dimension. And then you've got the pillar of smoke by day, pillar of fire by night. And there are time and time again biblical references to UFOs.
Yeah, Moses came down and his hair was gray. He may have been exposed to radiation of some kind. He came down off the mountain and his hair had changed color from just this encounter that he had. But we can go on through history, not to just stick on the Bible, but there's sightings throughout the Bible, and people should look into that. I spoke at the conference once again in Roswell, my favorite place to go talk. It's right close here to home. I'm in Oklahoma. But I gave a talk down there on a meeting between religious leaders throughout the nation and UFO leaders. And we all came together to realize that there are other people out there in the universe that God's made besides humans that are intelligent. And apparently they can travel faster than the speed of light and can reach Earth where we can't yet do that. Back in 1400 AD, I'm a historian. That's what I do for MUFON. I research sightings going back over 5,000 years. In 1400 AD, they painted a wall in a chapel of an object that looks just like a modern-day B-2 bomber. And this is even has a person belted into the cockpit. And you can see this drawing online.